Hi guys, back again with another House of the Dragon reaction. Today we are going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 4, called A Dance of Dragons, I think. Obviously this should be a pretty exciting episode, so let's just get into it. Oh, it's Millie again, fun.
Speak plainly.
Harrenhal is definitely a high-stress environment.
Stop.
She is not wrong, though. Jeez! I was not expecting that.
There's been a raven.
Good God.
Your Grace, even if you can raise a host of rivermen, it will not be ready in time to face him.
Black goat. I wonder if there's some weird, like, satanic symbolism there.
Let's see what your Lord Paramount is made of. How fares your grandsire?
Sadly, he remains incapacitated.
So he's alive.
Yes.
Don't sound too disappointed in that.
Well, my time is short and I have need of an army. Perhaps you might place a feather pillow over his head and speed along
Good
your inheritance.
God.
I can see why the Blackwoods and the Brackens did not fear to start a war beneath the nose of their liege lords. House Tully
Rude.
has no head. Remind me which of your...
Honestly, I cannot abide this House Tully slander.
Was it Bracken or Blackwood?
You tried. They do look a lot alike.
No.
That's very good casting, aside from the fact that they're both very good actors. Seems kind of young for a Grandmaster. Oh, dear God.
Discreetly. Do you believe Viserys wanted Aegon to succeed him?
Who cares what Viserys wanted? He sucks.
I could not know.
Is that implying that she is already pregnant? Or...
Have you had word from your father?
Of course she hasn't.
No.
Daddy's home.
My lord.
Daemon, of all people, has taken Harrenhal. I give you a job, and now you just sit there. It's your fucking castle!
Well, that castle is more crippled than I am, Your Grace. It's like to drive Daemon to madness as he attempts to make use of it, which is beyond his
He's
faculties.
not wrong about that.
It is also penniless, as I happily control all of its gold.
Gaumaus ne horta mi repagon aeopeopoles. Lokoston kodabri predagon. Prosia potaule de repagon. Silvotaro mi sirto mi tiripiti vetogon. Silveton kuvinon imaderisnios. Luixos. Aojos sutioto punto ui vestrogon avisuti libas. Audli non gieri jumbi.
Awkward.
Nuke koston bivilus segiton bilivazni.
You tried.
That is a rich
Go
intelligence.
away, you creepy
It
weirdo.
is a sin to deny your appetites.
She's just not that into you, bro.
Was anything of note discussed at the council?
If I may be so bold, my queen.
You may not.
Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what, and so will Aegon's. The war will be fought. Many will die, and the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
Facts. Interesting phrasing there, though, that she said that the victor will ascend the throne. Like, doesn't that kind of imply that it's not Aegon, since he's already taken the throne? I love the idea of Daemon just, like, in Harrenhal by himself, going completely nuts. Oh, love that they're going to be sharing scenes in Daemon's little dream world. Don't be jealous just because he's younger and has better hair than you. Wait, what the frick? Let him straight to Alice.
Once you get to know me, you'll find I'm not so bad.
I love her already. She's perfect.
What are you then? Some kind of maester?
In a manner of speaking. Harrenhal's been cursed since its first stone was laid.
Jeez.
Black hadn't felled the grove of weirwood trees that grew on these lands. Well, the very bed you sleep in was made from such a heart tree. You experienced anything of note?
I love her so much.
So you've come here after quarreling with your wife. You arrive here alone to claim the castle and yet send no ravens. Do you now plan to make your own claim? Perhaps to prove yourself to her?
Do not try me with your insolence, witch.
It's a hard thing, I imagine, to give obeisance to one who replaced you as heir.
Reading him for filth.
And a woman, too. I mean, does it please you that her legitimacy is contested as you stand here with a castle and a dragon, attempting to draw an army of men?
Snatching wigs.
You'll need your sleep if you're to win this place to your side.
And against the crown.
Who are you?
Sir William Blackwood of House Blackwood, Your Grace.
I love that they're bringing a lot of the actors from season 1 back in these weird hallucinatory dreams. Is Alice just like lacing his food with crack or something? He's really having some troubles.
Our lords in the Crown lands are grousing.
You bore me. You all bore me.
Who, Aegon?
My council, Cole, Aemond, they pursue their campaign without seeking my aid, or even my thought.
As if you have thoughts.
What thoughts would you have? In the hope that you might be half the king your father was.
Like, have y'all gone crazy? Viserys sucked.
What would you have me do, Mother?
Do simply what is needed of you. Nothing.
People are dragging him for filth this episode. Oh. Honestly, Tom always slays, and somehow manages to make Aegon feel somewhat sympathetic, even though he's trash.
To support the war that your vassals have been fighting in your absence, Your Grace.
Jesus, man.
Cole's host has grown since riding abroad. You must send me, Your Grace. I will meet Cole.
Like, is no one suspicious that this could be a trap? Yes, this is exactly the kind of decision you should be making when you're totally hammered. Not to be like defending Aegon, but people could be a little nicer to him given that his kid was just murdered.
It's a secret that Viserys told me when he named me his successor. And it has passed.
I mean, at least she is telling him, but like, again, you should probably be telling more than one person about the incoming apocalypse. Oh, Sunfire.
I never told you because the Targaryen who sits the Iron
Oh.
Throne is not just a king or a queen.
Interesting to see if this is, yes.
That I alone was meant to be this protector.
That she alone was meant to be this protector. It'll be interesting to see how this renews her.
I had to send the dragons to war.
Renews her belief in that she is, like, the chosen one meant to protect the world.
All is going to plan.
Yes. Dragon fights. Melee's is very pretty. I like that the show did kind of different aesthetics with the dragons, but the kind of classic Melees slash Drogon Viserion Rhaegal style is still my favorite style. Yes!
Boss, Vega, Sir Daor.
Honestly, Vhagar is a vibe.
Stalwart men of House Targaryen! Your king has joined you! Hold to your courage, hold to your wits, for the Seven have blessed and shielded this host with divine purpose! For the one true king, Aegon! Advance!
Love that from Cole, just like PR spin on the fly. He is big mad though. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, it's on fire. Oh no, no, no. Whoop. She just got real. Oh, Sunfire. You're just a baby. Oof. Damn. Oh, no. Is this going to be the end of the episode? Okay. I cannot believe that she survived the freaking fire, man. Vhagar's fire must be insanely, insanely hot. Oh, jeez. Damn. Oh, damn. Cool shot, though. And cool concept for the shot. Jeez. Damn. Now is it over? No, it's not over. My God. Jeez. So Kristen is no joke. Oh, Aegon. Sunfire. Oh, God. Okay, so that is a wrap on Season 2, Episode 4. A Dance of Dragons. I feel like I'm, it's very, the final scene with Sir Criston, obviously the feeling of, him being the hand and his king being horrifically injured like that. But there's a certain, I'm gonna cry. There's the fact that, Criston has been around these kids since they were babies. So to see Aegon like that must have been really hard for him. I'm totally, oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna take a minute and pull myself together. Okay. Okay, so to feel the way that he does about Alicent and to have been, the main father figure in the life of her children for their entire lives, and for something to go this badly must have been extremely difficult. I hope that they dig more into this in the next episode. I know, obviously, this is the first time I've cried for any House of the Dragon stuff, but just for your information, I am totally one of those people who cries at extremely sad advertisements. So, this isn't an entirely unexpected reaction, but, yeah, so that is, the most emotionally resonant part of this episode for me. But, okay, so for the rest of the episode, loved watching Daemon go insane, loved watching Alice drive him insane. Obviously sad to see Rhaenys go, even though I knew it was coming. I thought that they gave her a pretty good send-off for the episode, even though I would have liked to see her. I would have liked to see her have more screen time, although I think that might have given away what was coming for people who maybe didn't know that the Battle of Rook's Rest is a big deal. Interesting as the episode went on, the obvious implication that Alicent is actually pregnant. Although I don't know how she would know that in the amount of time that she and Criston have actually been together. So I'm wondering if that was just kind of weird writing, or if I missed something. It was nice seeing Jace kind of come into his own and be more taking the lead on situations and, taking his mom to task on not sharing not sharing what she's doing and putting herself in danger. There's also the other side of that. I'm interested in, I thought that this was pretty solid writing in terms of the whole conversation between Alicent and Rhaenyra in the Sept felt kind of, it stretched the bounds of imagination for me when I was watching it, but I had the inkling that they might use that as a way of renewing Rhaenyra's faith in herself and her position as the heir and the protector of all of Westeros. So seeing that bear fruit in this episode was definitely a satisfying ending to a scene that I thought was generally one of the weaker ones in the series so far. Aemond going a little insane, but still, I love him, and I'll never stop. The fact that Aegon is literally going into battle hammered is both hilarious and pathetic and so sad. The last thing you want to be doing is going into dragon battle when you're really, really drunk. Larys, go die, please. Alice, queen of everything all the time. Already love her character so much. I saw someone kind of speculate something that I feel like really came through in this episode, which is like that Alice could kind of be this almost manifestation of Harrenhal and the curse of Harrenhal. I think obviously, you know, she is a real person who exists, but the idea that she could potentially be getting a lot of her power off of the almost like sentient evil of Harrenhal is a really cool concept that I might dig into more in the future, because it honestly seems like in the show itself, you could make a case for that subtext. Honestly, still so annoyed that they keep on like trying to reiterate this idea that Viserys was a really good king when he was only a good king because he had other people doing the work for him. Loved seeing Alicent finally take a little bit of credit for the fact that she has been ruling in his stead for years and doing a really good job. Like, totally facts. Oh yeah, and interesting that Aegon was wearing the Conqueror's crown and his armor. Jesus. I thought that was definitely an interesting symbolic choice on the part of his character. And obviously there's some dramatic irony to that, given that he went into his very first battle and got absolutely demolished. Seeing the dragons fight, obviously. Very cool, exactly like what we all came to the series waiting for, and it definitely lived up to my expectations. I liked seeing the way, I thought it was all shot really well. I thought that the framing, the aesthetics of it all was very good. And it's definitely, obviously this was like a big sell for the show for a lot of reasons, but in terms of like the entire world of Ice and Fire, I feel like one of the things that House of the Dragon has to offer that most other adaptations of the world of Ice and Fire would not have is seeing dragons used as weapons against each other. So seeing that play out, I thought that they did a really good job with that in general. Pour one out for Maylis. And for Rhaenys, obviously. She was a real one, went into battle with no fear and no hesitation. And Aemond, I'm interested to see where they're going to take this with Aemond, because I feel like prior to this episode, I had been sent some spoilers kind of implying that that Aemond was going to intentionally hurt Aegon, which wasn't beyond belief, but I thought that the show played it ambiguously in a really good way. Like, you could interpret it that way, but it's also, you know, it was left vaguely enough that, you know, he just sees his brother and sees his brother being a freaking idiot, as he always is, and he doesn't immediately intervene. So what does that mean for his culpability in terms of what has happened to Aegon now? I think it would have been a little hard to believe if it was Aemond like directly going after his brother in an extremely aggressive way, but the sort of, I thought they played it off basically like Aemond is sick of his shit, which is pretty valid, I think, given that everything that's gone on. And it'll be interesting to see how that kind of split decision from Aemond to not immediately intervene on his brother's behalf affects the story going forward. Obviously, I'm one of the only people who love Sir Criston. I love him even more every episode because he's kooky crazy, but he's also an excellent strategist, and he's really good at war. I feel like this episode demonstrated how much value he brings to the Greens, given that he has an understanding of tactics and strategy that no one else on either side really does, and that has an extremely positive effect on the prospects of the Greens as they wage their war. And yeah, of course, you know, I can't help but feel an emotional connection, given that he has spent his entire adult life devoted to Allison and her children. So seeing things go this badly wrong this soon in the war has got to be a devastating blow. And I'm very interested to see how Fabian will play that going forward. So yeah, I think that is pretty much that on this episode. Definitely think it was the strongest episode of this season by far. That's certainly what I would have expected, but generally speaking, just the fact that, going into this situation knowing what was going to happen and having certain expectations, I feel like all of my expectations were met or exceeded in the actual execution of this storyline. So yeah, very excited to see what happens in episode 5. If you're interested in watching along with me further, obviously I'm going to be watching the rest of the season and reacting. So if you want to experience that with me, like and subscribe.